Lie hapo. Ishindwe.
Sema shindwe.
Ishindwe kabisa baba.
Sema hiyo ni pepo nyeusi.
Tunaitakasa.
Wewe nakwambia sasa watu wanakuongelea mbali. Wanakuita Zakayo, sema shindwe.
Washindwe.
Sema pepo potee mbali.
Popo potea mbali.
Imepotea kabisa.
Imepotea kabisa.
I just want to start it on a very light note that rumors on the streets, or the word in the streets, is that Statehouse is surrounded by very, very dark powers. Because one thing you need to know as Kenyans, we have freedom of religion, and people, as others call upon Jesus Christ and others call upon Allah, just know there are some very wicked people who have altars which sacrifice or which worship the devil. And it is no coincidence that so many people can come out and say there is something paranormal, something out of the ordinary which is happening at our State House. This came into, my attention when people went for the Gen Z demonstration protest about some few days ago. When people said they were there, they managed to break all the barriers and they were seeing the State House. They were just few meters from the State House, and you know what? They never made it to the State House. Some said they felt their legs were very heavy. Some said they were many. All of a sudden they couldn't see people. There were some stories around that maybe conspiracy or maybe it was true. But let me tell you, power comes with something. Every person in this world associates himself with something, a supernatural being. We call him God, our creator. But some people, worship the devil blatantly. Like we have heard some person by the name of Raila Odinga saying he goes to witch doctors, anaenda kwa waganga, which is not a problem. Yeye Kenya tafanya ni yeye, but it is the time we start thinking about the altars that have been built in our State House, because each and every president came with his or her own. We have not reached her, hatujakuwa na president mama bado, but every president alikuwa na madhabahu yake. You have to know that. So mimi nasikia huyu jamaa ni kama anatolea kafara, na it is what a coincidence, my people. Tulisikia his personal assistant akisema, unajua sisi tunaabudu shetani kanisani, in quotes. Hivyo ndio alisema. My friends, fungueni macho. We don't fight, we don't wrestle against blood and flesh, but against principalities and rulers in evil rulers in high places. What? It is true, but I just want you to hear from yourself, from an expert. I know you know this lady. She was once abducted. Anaitwa Dr. Seraki Mumbi. Alikuanga coast and she was abducted. Maybe stories ikaenda hivi. Let her explain. Then I will play you a clip of cartoonist hawa wenye nini. Ujue hiyo combination ya baba na Kasongo. It is a very terrible combination. Hey, my friends.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So the big question this morning is, why did we fail to penetrate State House? It's because of the Majinis, dude, and the Machawis family. There's a friend of mine, Simba, who he was at the very front lines, and he sent me a message later in the night, and he said there were a massive crowd, and they got to very close to the main lane into now to go to the State House gate and stuff, and all of a sudden their feet got heavy, they couldn't walk. It was like the people just started scattering and disappearing. And where they had been almost 100,000 people, all of a sudden guys just started screaming and running away and disappearing in the night. And he was even telling me, State House is guarded by my genies and my, So family, when we talk about us waging war, not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, you'd best believe they're right here. And there's an American woman who once said that she had done her research of all the world and all the universe, and she found that the devil actually lives in Kenya. But she said he lives in Nakuru. But anyway, There's someone else who sent me a message, another comrade, and he was talking about how there was a frequency lock to Statehouse. And that frequency lock was placed by none other than Baba. And he said, there's like a video that started going around like just the night before. And then throughout the day, it was going through where Baba was saying, I don't know, people shouldn't. I didn't even watch it because it had a weird, highest level wizard, even more than that. But it had like a weird vibe. But it was going around where he was talking about, I don't know what he was saying about demonstrations. So my friend is saying that thing actually frequency locked people. And then, your energy spreads to other people. Anyway, this is for the highly adept. There's some people who will think this is Jabba. So he was able to create a frequency lock so it could not be penetrated. And there's guys that say last year he could have been the one that sent in the squad that first penetrated Parliament before everyone else entered. Anyway, family, we need to now tackle this from a spiritual level. I've been talking about bells. Guys, I've been talking about bells, drums. Obviously, we need to take it to a higher notch. But we should regard this as a reconnaissance. Where we went, we saw, we were able to see what kind of security they have around there, what they're doing. And the barriers are spiritual. Guys are even talking about how we need to, that Aka obelisk in town. And then there's another weird shape. I'll attach them to this. They need to be dismantled. Don't forget, family, Nairobi is a Masonic city. It was built by the Brotherhood. Everything from our streets to how the buildings, Sijui High Court, Sijui Parliament, including the Donkey's Nini, which is KICC. It's filled with altars and all kinds of things. So you think they wouldn't have that in Statehouse? And don't forget, Nabi has also been putting his own Nini, which is coming from the Muslim side, in Statehouse with all these. When people are reconstructing and renovating for billions, okay, half that money he's taking, but half that money he's trying to install new altars. Because the previous altars don't really favor him. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, family. We definitely need to go back to the drawing board on this one, but all in all, it was still a major victory. We got this close. Next time it will be a different story.
Lie hapo. Ishindwe.
Sema shindwe.
Ishindwe kabisa baba.
Sema hiyo ni pepo nyeusi.
Tunaitakasa.
Wewe nakwambia sasa kwa mtu wanakuongelea mbali. Wanakuita Zakayo, sema shindwe.
Washindwe.
Sema pepo potee mbali.
Popo potea mbali.
Sema potea kabisa.
Imepotea kabisa.
Na mambo ya msomo yako kukataa kuwaka, sema shindwe.
Ishindwe kabisa baba.
Na watu ya kushika nyota yako na kupoteza kama wewe nalala, sema shindwe.
Ishindwe.
Mambo ya jinsi kukanyaga nyota yako na kwenda nao wanataka kuvuka nao bunge.
Tunaitakasa.
Tumekemea.
Tunakemea.
Usikubali.
Shikara baba.
Usikubali jinsi kuzima nyota yako.
Ishindwe kabisa.
Shindwe.
Ishindwe.
Shindwe baba, na shaka la banga la kwa dankashika.
Hiyo ni kushikwa na roho kweli, we mzee.
We ngoja. Wewe nafunga mlango ya roho kuingia kwa nabu. Na wale watu wanasema ati wewe uende one time washindwe.
Hiyo kwanza itakaswe.
Sema shindwe.
Ishindwe kabisa.
Hiyo ni giza, pepo nyeusi.
Hiyo ni roho chafu.
Roho chafu ya watu wale wanao chafu.
Hiyo ni pepo baya.
Shaka baga la kankala voice kankala vanga.
Hiyo roho tunaikaribisha. Na sasa pia wewe nataka uambie baba.
Ngoja kidogo, kuku Yakobo. Hii si wewe. Endelea.
Hiyo roho sasa.
Make sure you like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. It's your one and only anonymous whistleblower. Till next time, cheers. stand by in 3, 2, 1, go.